It can be a fucked up world out there, right?
Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
Party town is all I see. Popping over dead bodies. War is all I need to see. Dead is all you mean to me. Death will equal victory. Carnival of energy. Shots from flying bodies laying. No mercy, you got to pay. Y'all ain't heard I get a rush. You'll be next, no need to rush. Stand alone, cause I'm the one. Not afraid to help you, son. It'll come, the time is now. Make your peace and lay it down. Saving cash and blood will splash. Laughing at the aftermath.
Are video games and social media ruining society?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Are we as a people obsessed with misfortune? All of these questions and more get answered in the 2020 explosion that is Guns Akimbo. Created by Jason Lee Howden, Guns Akimbo is what I like to call a D'Angelo movie. That's me, by the way. I'm D'Angelo. It's the type of movie that just kind of nails most of, if not all, my interests. And it does it with both style and grace. Oh, and also tons of over-the-top violence.
That's bingo, baby. 5 up 5.
No.
Yes.
No, that is not the lesson that we learned.
It
I know
is. Violence is cool.
Dave?
It's not the kind of movie that will suit everyone's taste, and frankly, I'm okay with that. Because this movie was made for me. And boy, does it taste sweet. I'm your host and secret final boss, D'Angelo Edwards. And today, it's my pleasure to take my hat off to Guns Akimbo.
This is my hands. You're fine. You're fine. I'm not gonna do anything else to you. I'm sorry. Just try.
What's the worst part of the internet?
I think it's how it's affecting youth these days. Because I didn't grow up with it, like, in my face.
Yeah, like comment sections on some websites are like,
Right.
there's a specific line in the film about like YouTube comment sections, which it is one of those things where like you'll just watch the nicest video on YouTube and you'll scroll down slightly and somebody will be like, this is everything that's wrong with society, and just like, you know, oh God.
Alright, before we get started, a little backstory. As I mentioned before, Guns Akimbo was created by Jason Lee Howden, a writer, director, and VFX artist from New Zealand. You know, that country from the Rocket Power movie. It's real now, whoa! Before he got his first chance to direct and write, he was mostly known for his VFX work, doing things like Avengers, Lord of the Rings, The Great Gatsby, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Nice, I knew I had a good feeling about this guy. But in 2015, he finally got his big break with his first film, Deathgasm. I think Deathgasm is a great look into the kind of movies this guy wants to make. Fast-paced, exciting movies with awesome music dripping in style and blood, but with characters you actually care about. Deathgasm is a great watch, and in some ways I kind of prefer it to Guns Akimbo. But it's probably a harder sell since not everyone is into metal. And it can be a bit much sometimes. I mean, this scene happens. But as much as I want to, we're not here to talk about Deathgasm. We're here to talk about Guns Akimbo.
Like water pistols and tapes them to my hands and just spent a day just going around my flat and just like, you know, how do I go to the toilet?
The scene with the doorknob's really funny.
That's so good.
I was great. Like, it was really, really fun. Like, I got really good at a lot
He
of
got
stuff.
too good. Like, there'd be a crew member would like drop some gaffer tape and Dan would like just pick it up. Oh,
Or
excuse
just
me.
like,
Guns Akimbo is a balls-to-the-walls action comedy starring Ned Dennehy, Samara Weaving, and...
Bloody hell! It's Harry Potter!
Yep, that's your boy Daniel Radcliffe. You might even recognize him from that one picture that was the reason anyone was talking about this movie.
Yes, and they got this picture of you, and it looks like you've lost...
so yeah, so it's like, this thing... I spend like the majority of the movie that is my costume for. Like the first 2/3 of the movie, I was just like running around downtown Auckland in New Zealand dressed like that. And a thing happens sometimes where like a photo like that will come out and people don't know it's from a film.
No!
Like, so people, I know it like seems obviously that would be a fictional situation, but some people just go like, he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
Like,
Daniel plays Miles Lee Harris, a troll-hunting keyboard warrior that pisses off the wrong guy one night, getting dragged into the nationwide death game known as Schism.
You want to go viral? Schism is the virus.
Schism is what would happen if you took public school and made it a bit more friendly. Organized death matches broadcast to the world of some of the most insane, murder-happy psychos to ever pick up a katana. And now, Miles is in the thick of it, being forced to fight to the death against Nyx, the champion. But in case you're worried he's going in unarmed,
Stop whining.
that's right. 50 bullets in the left, 50 bullets in the right, and 24 hours to kill a crazy murder girl. Just another normal Monday, right?
I feel ya. It's actually Thursday, though.
Miles is just a normal guy. And by normal guy, I mean a total freaking loser. He spends all of his time replying to trolls on the internet, getting crapped on by his boss at work, and longing after Nova, the e-girl that got away. He's not unlikable, he's just kinda pathetic. Which is why it's so fun to see this wimp thrust into a world of violence that he has absolutely no control over. One minute he's white knighting and the next they're drilling guns into his hands. Now you would think that he would snap into action, fight or flight style, and start fighting back against Nyx.
What a fowler!
But no. Most of the movie is him running away, getting shot, falling over, and just trying to do normal everyday things with the gun holsters he now calls his hands. Even when he fires his first bullet by accident, the only thing that does is give him tinnitus and make him throw up. Not exactly what you would call an action hero. Now, on the total opposite side of the spectrum, you have Nyx. She's basically every psychotic, gun-happy girl character rolled into one. You can feel the girl power from here.
Did you just say girl power? No, not girl power! I'm talking about girl power!
She ends up tracking down Miles by almost cartoonishly breaking into a police station and remotely installing tracking software to his phone, finding him in his apartment, and doing what she does best. Every time Nyx shows back up, it's an event. She's like Mr. X from Resident Evil, a constant mini-boss that shows up right when you need her the least. Super irreverent, vulgar to a fault, and endowed with what feels like a near-endless amount of weapons. She's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Both her and Miles need to kill each other, but while Miles has to do it to survive, Nyx has to do it to get out of Schism, and out of the control of the main baddie, Richter. A classic one-name psycho villain. No redeeming traits, no twists, no nuance. Just straight up, hello, I'm here to murder you while I laugh. Great stuff. The fights he sets up between Miles and Nyx are one of the best parts of the movie. And it leads me to one of my favorite things about the movie. The visuals. This movie looks sick. There is no other way to describe it. It's full of awesome shots, cool angles, and high-octane scenes. This one part has me on the edge of my seat every time, just look at it. Daniel Radcliffe actually had that motorcycle in his face, now that's what I call dedication. And the introduction to Nyx is just... perfection. So many action movies lack creativity nowadays, so this part of the movie was a breath of fresh air. It obviously borrows a lot of the style from video games. In fact, the name of the movie comes from a video game called Blood. It looks kinda like a Doom type game, where you would get a power-up called Guns Akimbo that doubled whatever weapon you were holding. The movie also has a killer soundtrack, each track elevating the crazy things going on. Even the name of the death game is based on the artist of the same name, Schism, and his music video for his song Experts.
Check this out.
It even shares a few key plot elements, with the nerd in the video getting sucked into the computer, where he fights death matches because of some comments he left on the video. But there's a lot more to Guns Akimbo than just Nix and Miles though, and we'll get to that right after the break. This is what 13-year-old Potterhead girls see in the mirror of Erised.
And it's one thing to say you can't face violence, but when it faces you, you better be ready.
Guns Akimbo's story really does get insane, and the longer the fight between Nix and Miles goes on for, the more people get dragged into it, giving us some pretty fun, if not one-note side characters. Of course you have Nova, Miles' ex, who, upon seeing him with guns for hands, gives the appropriate reaction. She actually ends up getting kidnapped by Richter, which leads to Miles actually manning up a bit. You have his cool co-worker, his dick boss, a very cool homeless man, and Richter's goon squad, which, well, this guy puts it best.
Just let me do my thing, okay? You do yours. Stand around looking like end-level bosses from Streets of Rage.
You even have the chief of police who, spoiler alert, is Nix's dad, and he's been tracking her ever since Richter planted a bomb on his family, killing his wife and son and traumatizing Nix, giving her a fear of fire. All of these characters come together to create a thoroughly enjoyable movie, and I think everyone gives a pretty good performance, especially Daniel. Watching him grow from this loser incel keyboard bro into an actual force to be reckoned with is awesome. And you can even see his growth throughout the movie. He gets better and better with his gun hands, and he eventually starts to fire back at Nix, with a little help from her. And after accidentally killing a guy, he decides that if he wants to get out of this alive and save Nova, he's gonna have to fight back. He even convinces Nix to help him, after Nix's dad is killed by a corrupt cop under Richter. And seeing as how when their fight is over, Richter has plans to kill Nix too. You can't kill Nix, think of the Simps! They storm the castle, get their obligatory boss fights over with, leading to a crazy cocaine-fueled He-Man style power-up, which is one of the best sentences I've ever had to say. That sadly ends up with Nix sacrificing herself so Miles can go and finish Richter. R.I.P. in peace, Nix. I hope they sell your bathwater in heaven. But now it's just Miles and Richter. One final showdown. He has Nova, and Miles has one bullet left. It's his time to shine, to make his mark, to be the hero he always wanted to be. So he takes the shot and...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, mistakes were made, but he keeps going, even after being shot by Richter like way too many times to survive. But that doesn't matter. You know what movie you're in. You know what this is. Nova even proves that feminism isn't dead and sets Miles up for the alley-oop, pistol whipping Richter before finally dropping him off a building. Is anyone else wondering how much he made on the Richter scale? So Miles beats the bad guy, gets the girl, and ends up happily ever after, right? Well, not really. Nova is pretty much traumatized by the whole thing, and Miles somehow survives his injuries, but he doesn't end up back with her. She does, however, have Miles fill the role of the main character she was looking for her comic book. And Miles decides to take the fight to the other schisms located across the world. The White Knight slaying real dragons now, as he drives off into the night. And so that was Guns Akimbo. This movie is bonkers top to bottom. It is ridiculous and it makes no sense. How has the government not stopped this? How is Miles going to take down all these people? How did he even survive this schism? And why is Jeff Bezos watching it? Wait, that one actually checks out. But even if it doesn't make any sense, Guns Akimbo is just a blast to watch. You can tell that everyone in the movie was having a great time, and it looks fantastic. It even has some clever commentary on the way that we take in violence on the daily, and how we're all kind of desensitized to it. And the fact that Jason Lee wears all the stuff he loves on his sleeve is just... love it. I feel like lately more than ever, there's a lack of a voice when it comes to action movies. Everything kind of looks the same, with that fast cut style with barely any choreography. It even blended into the new Matrix movie, which was a huge disappointment. But Guns Akimbo definitely has a voice, and a loud one too, which gives it a flavor all its own. Guns Akimbo is a bloody, raunchy, goofy, and sometimes thought-provoking fun time. And if you got the stomach for it, then kick up your shoes, grab a beer, and get ready for a ballroom blitz.